Good morning. We're going to do math review today. Let's briefly review place value and then move on to rounding. On this chart, we're not going to look at these. These are the tenths and hundredths, but here we have ones, tens, hundreds, thousands, 10,000s, 100,000s, millions, 10 millions, 100 millions. So you should be remembering that place value. Now let's look at some numbers here on the board. This is the population of the 4 biggest states. That's a lot of numbers. It's a lot to look at. It's kind of confusing. So often you'll see people will round these off to the nearest million, or at least to the nearest 100,000. So we're going to round these numbers off to the nearest million. So the millions place, not the minions place, the millions place, is this one. So we look at the one over here. 4 or less, this stays the same. 5 or higher, this one rounds up. So it's 5 or higher, so this is going to round up. What does it round up to? 9 is the biggest number. No, but what's the next number above 39? 40. Right, so this one will round up to 40 million. 40 million from 39,512,000. Just past the middle between 39 million and 40 million. Sometimes in a newspaper article, you won't see them write this. They'll just say 40 million people. They'll say almost 40 million people live in California now. This is California, by the way. We have the most people. How would the next number round? We're going to keep the million. Look at the number next to it. Wow, look at that, 995,000. This is 28,995,881. That is really, really close to what number? This is 5 or bigger, so this guy rounds up. So this rounds to 29 million. So you see that whatever number we're rounding to, everything after that is all zeros. So let's write, I'm going to rewrite the other number right above this one. So this one would be 40 million. This one would be 29 million. What would this one round to? I want you to do it, and then I'll do it on the board. Pause the video while you think. All right, what you should have done is found the millions place, which is this. Look at this one. Is it 4 or less? Yes, it is. So what does that mean? This stays the same. So this would round to 21 million. And what about this one? Keeping that. Look at that. Keep this the same. Rounds to 19 million. So now if I say these are the population of the 4 largest states, these green numbers, those are a little bit easier to look at and compare because your eye kind of says, well, yeah, this is all the same out here. I just have to look at what's different, which is this one's 40, this one's 29, this one's 21, this one's 19. Now it's a little easier to compare. So this is one of the uses for rounding. Now let me give you some more numbers to practice rounding with. I'm just going to write the word of the place value I want you to round to. So I want you round these to the nearest million. So that says million, but it means to the nearest million. To the nearest million. Also this one. Remember, when you're rounding, You're going to the place value that I told you to round to, which is the millions place, and everything on that side of it turns to zeros. So you're gonna get to the nearest million. All right, I want you to round these two to the nearest 10,000s place. So you need to think. Maybe you need to write it out, what those places are. Which one of the numbers in this one and this one are in the 10,000s place? You're going to underline that one, check the one next to it, decide if it rounds up, stays the same, and everything else to the right turns to zeros. And here's your last two. I want you to round these to the nearest thousands place. Write those down and round to the nearest thousands. Make sure you put this on a piece of lined paper with the title at the top, which is rounding. So your paper should say math review at the top. And then above all these questions, it should say 9. Sorry, it should say 9/21/20, which is today's date. And then below that, oh, and then next to that, it should say rounding. 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 And then these 6 questions. Rounding to the thousands, rounding to the millions, rounding to the 10,000s. So there's your full assignment right there. You can pause the video if you didn't get any of those and write those down. You're awesome. I bless you with brilliant brains and math minds and a love of learning. Bye.